Welcome back. In today's video, we fail at doing brakes and a few other things as well. Back at it again on the power steering hose, or lines actually. I'm almost done on the low pressure side. We can see that in there. A few little things to do on it and then that's done. I want to get some rubber on there so we don't scratch the paint with vibrations, and there is a little bracket there with a hole that I've managed to line up and get it so that can get bolted in there and be nice and secure, and then rubber line from there to the return on the pump. That one's done. High pressure side, not so lucky yet. That's original VK. I did get that extra hose piece that I ordered, which goes on the back of the pump and then bolts up. So my plan was to get it to bolt up to this, but they do screw together, but they're the same kind of ends, so they're not going to seal, so it's not going to work. I did get the flaring tool, and that is this thing, and this thing is a hell of a lot better than that stupid little bar one that you screw the thing down. This one, at least you've got a big handle to flare it up, and you've got all these different settings on here for different size lines and stuff. So, and the good thing about this one as well, if I can just get that out, it comes with dies. So you put it in, bada boom, bada bing, your pipe's flared. That's one of the ends that I did, which tried to put a bend in and I actually broke the pipes. So yeah, but it flares it quite well. And the other issue with it having been dies is you need a certain amount of length to be able to put it in, and with that nut on the end you can't get it on there to flare it, so it's not going to work. And the other thing with this is, for this one to go in, say into the steering box like that, oh no, that would work. For some reason in my head I was thinking it was sticking out that way, because our exhaust manifold goes down pretty close to that. But if that's that way, that could still work, but I've got nothing to connect it to that. So there's still a lot of thinking to be done on the high pressure side, but I'm going to finish off the low pressure side, so that's done, and then I'll start working on how to do the other one. Now, if I knew how to do a flare like that, I would have no dramas, because I can shorten this one down without that big square piece and be laughing, but I don't know how to make that kind of flare. So I can play around with that flaring machine and see if I can figure it out, but at this stage I don't know. So yeah, let me finish that one and I'll get back to you, the plan with the high pressure side. There we go, a couple of bits of rubber on the line just to protect it. Might eliminate that one there, looks a bit silly, but when it comes out of that bend there, I don't want it rubbing on the frame there and rubbing the paint off, so that'll protect that nicely. That's pretty much ready to bolt in and be good. But let's have a look at it first. So looking at the hose here, as well as that protecting the rail on the car, it also hides the wobbliness of the hose. Now this was from the Statesman, so it has changed shape quite dramatically, and I've pretty much straightened it out to as straight as I could get it, and then put bends in it where I want it to go along that rail. Half of this clamp has been cut off, and I was able to use that one there to actually bolt it in. And before flaring that end, that nut is from the VK originally, so cut the end off, had to change the nuts because the Statesman ones are a slightly different threads, so reuse the VK nut and it screws in nicely. So that one can pretty much go in the car and be done. So I'm going to sort out this high pressure, or try to anyway. I'm going to leave the power steering where it is for the moment. I've got the VK one back in as a tester, but now I'm going to continue bleeding the brakes. I've come as far as I can come by myself, and the brick, the pedal does pump up now, so there's still air in the system, so I'm going to put some more fluid in and enlist the help of the children to come and help me finish the bleeding. So hopefully we get them up to where we need them to be. So Gravy always told me when I was a young fella, when bleeding breaks, you start from the furthest away and work your way in. So we'll start with passenger rear, driver's rear, then passenger front, driver's front, and hopefully that gets all the air out. The car is now up on jack stands in all corners, so as soon as the children arrive out here, I'll get started. So today I have Georgia, who's going to do the pumping of the brake pedal. So what I want you to do is I want you to use your dominant leg and pump the pedal, say 6 times, all the way down as far as it goes. And when I say hold, then you hold it to the floor. And when I crack the bleed screw, it's going to sink all the way to the floor. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. How many have you done?
Like 10.
Okay, so stop and hold. Okay, and we'll go to the back of the car. Yep, go.
1, 2, 3,
Yep.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, and do one more.
8.
And hold. Okay, I'm gonna crack it and it should go down, yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's going,
Hold it down, hold it down. Okay, release. Okay, did it, now when it went down, did you leave it down or did you come back up or anything?
I left it down.
Okay, so we're gonna do it one more time.
Okay. Count.
Yep.
It went down, yeah.
Good. I think we got a lot of air out of it that time. That was a really good one. Yep, let it go. Does it feel harder now to push?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna do it one more time. That was a really good, we got a lot of air out. That was really good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it again and hold on 8. Release. Good.
Hard work.
Release. Okay, release. Don't release. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, start. Going down.
Yeah.
Just hold. Keep holding. All right, release. Hold. Okay, release. Is it getting harder?
Yes.
Okay, good. Hold it down. And release. Good. Okay, go again. And hold. Push it all the way down. And hold. And release. Good. Now that we have the brakes bled up, it's time to tackle the not so nice looking K-frame. So I've now masked everything up and I'm going to just spray a bit of black on that and make that look somewhat respectable. Okay, that's 2 coats of black. That's good enough. Time to get it unmasked and another job ticked off. Got all the masking off, came off without any dramas, and to my knowledge at the moment I can't see any bleed through or anything, so I think we're all good on that. Next thing, I need to mask up the firewall again and just paint a bit of the tunnel. There's still a bit of primer in there, so we'll get that nice and black as well. And you can see that marking there, that's where the transpan has to be massaged, you know, the rail where the transpan is. So before that goes back in, I want a little bit more massaging on that so there's plenty of room when the motor goes back in. Then we're pretty damn close, I reckon. But so far, everything going very well. Just a little more progress. I did get underneath the car with the little big hammer and try and whack in that rail, but that ain't going nowhere. That's pretty strong, so I think that's about as far as I'm going to get with the massaging. So while I was under there, I also touched up the paint underneath. So that is that done. Let's get on to some other stuff. Just playing around with power steering hoses again, and thought I'm going to try and put the high pressure line in from underneath the car, because I'm thinking about the motor going in first before that, because that's just going to be in the way like that. And I did manage to get it in, so I'm thinking high pressure can wait until after the motor's back in. Might need some heat shield on that hose, because that's where the manifold comes down, but I think that's the route I'm going to go, is that can go after the motor's on. Let's maybe look at some rubbers and stuff putting back on, or something like that. Well, I added in the grommet for the heater hoses, and was going to start putting the wiper motor wiring back through that hole there. I had noticed a little bit of brake fluid at the bottom of the booster, and you can see where it's been dripping and stripping off the paint, and I think I know where it's coming from. That shouldn't really move like that. But if you just focus on in there, that ain't sealing, and that's why the brakes won't quite bleed up how they should be. So those rubbers under that reservoir need to be replaced, because I'm pretty sure movement like that is not meant to happen. So I'll have to find myself a couple of rubbers, replace those, and then hopefully the brakes will be sorted out. Now, seeing that the brakes are not going to be solvable in the immediate future, that's about where I'm going to leave this video here. But I did lower the front of the car just a smidgen in preparation to get the engine back in, but that ain't happening in the next week or two. So we've got to get that master cylinder sorted out, and then it's ready to get the engine back in. So until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.